Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast Special Edition Series where we preview each and every men's college basketball conference tournament. This is the 23rd episode of 31 in the series. And now up is the Southland Conference, which begins tomorrow, Tuesday, March 9th. The second round is Wednesday, March 10th. The quarterfinals is Thursday, March 11th. The semifinals Friday, March 12th. And the championship is Saturday, March 13th. This tournament, I think, has changed over the past couple of seasons with, the number of rounds and the matchups and all these triple buys and double buys and etc. So, without further ado, here we go. The first game in the first round tomorrow, Tuesday, March 9th, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 5 o'clock p.m. Central. You got 9-seeded McNeese against 8-seeded Southeastern Louisiana. McNeese 10-13 on the year, 4-10 in conference play. Southeast Louisiana 7-17 on the year, 5-10 in conference play. My projection is McNeese by 1, total 148. Therefore, I have McNeese into the second round. And the second of the two games, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. 10-seeded Houston Baptist against 7-seeded Incarnate Word. Houston Baptist 5-18 overall, 4-11 in conference play. Incarnate Word 8-13 overall, 5-9 in conference play. I project Incarnate Word by 2.5, total 145. Therefore, Incarnate Word to the next round. For the rest of this, I'm not doing totals because, as I keep saying throughout this series, future totals are harder to project rather than future lines. Second round, Wednesday, March 10th, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. 9-seeded McNeese against 5-seeded New Orleans. New Orleans on the year, 9-14 overall, 8-7 in conference play. My projection is New Orleans by 6.5, therefore New Orleans to the quarterfinals. The second of two second round games, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, March 10th. You got 7-seeded Incarnate Word against 6-seeded Lamar. Lamar on the year, 8-17 overall, 6-10 in conference play. My projection is Lamar by 3, therefore Lamar to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, Thursday, March 11th, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You got 5-seeded New Orleans against 4-seeded Northwestern State. Northwestern State on the season, 10-17 overall, 9-7 in conference play. My projection here is Northwestern State by 1, therefore Northwestern State to the semifinals. The second of two quarterfinal games, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, March 11th. You got 6-seeded Lamar against 3-seeded Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, 19-8 overall, 13-3 in conference play. My projection is Sam Houston State by a whopping 13.5, therefore Sam Houston State to the semifinals. So the semifinals, Friday, March 12th, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You got 4-seeded Northwestern State against 1-seeded Nichols. My projection is Nichols by 10.5, therefore Nichols I have to the conference championship game. In the last of the two semifinal matchups, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, March 12th. You got 3-seeded Sam Houston State against 2-seeded Abilene Christian. My line is Abilene Christian by 3.5. Sam Houston State, by the way, great season. They deserve some major props. I think they have been a big overachiever this year, and they are led by two solid players in Zach Newtall and DeMarcus Lampley. So you got to give them credit, but Abilene Christian's just better. So give me Abilene Christian to move on to the championship game. And now the Southland Conference Championship game, Saturday, March 13th, 9:30 p.m. on ESPN2. You got 2-seeded Abilene Christian against 1-seeded Nichols. Abilene Christian 21-4 overall, 13-2 in conference play. And I talked about Nichols a little bit, 17-6 overall, 14-2 in conference play. Stephen F. Austin is actually in this conference as well, but obviously they had a postseason ban this year, and that's a team that normally played well in March over the past couple of seasons, as we alluded to with Jared Smith on the previous show, and we were talking about Brad Underwood, the former head coach of Stephen F. Austin. So, Saturday, March 13th is the Southland Championship game. Abilene Christian and Nichols. I project Abilene Christian by a half. And Abilene Christian's a very strong team for this conference and balance, led by the man in the middle, Colton Cole, and Corian Mason. On the other side, Nichols, they have a couple solid players in there too, in Ty Gordon and Najee Garvin. You could argue they're deeper than Christian, but I think Christian is the better team. So give me Abilene Christian, who I have projected as a half-point favorite to win the 2021 Southland tournament, as they will punch a ticket as an auto bid to the 2021 NCAA tournament. Next up's a big one, the Big 12.